Hello everyone, MP Hater here. Welcome back to my newcomer's guide for Elden Ring. This is part 3. So in the last episode we made it to the Waypoint Ruins and we beat the boss here, which was the Mad Pumpkin Head. And we also ended up talking to Selen, who is a sorceress, and she will teach us sorceries. So that's going to be important if you are an astrologer or just want to run magic. Otherwise, though, we're going to be continuing along to gain access to some of the best starting gear that we can for each of the starting classes. So we're going to head up here, and I'm going to hop on Torrent, and we're actually going to head south. And you're going to notice the cemeteries are something that you'll run into a lot in this game. And they basically always have quite a few golden ruins. Anyway, grab all of them and then we're going to head back. So this caravan in front of us, we're actually going to end up getting the item inside of it. However, we're going to come along the left-hand side first. There is a smithing stone over here. And you don't actually have to kill any of these enemies to do this. All we need to do is knock down one of these guys and get the caravan to stop moving. So now we're going to run over here. And now we get a great axe. Requires about 30 strength to run, but definitely a good item to have if you're a strength build. So this bridge, by the way, will have a boss on it if it's nighttime. Don't want to fight it, so just avoid it. Otherwise, grab that smithing stone, and then we've got one of these to kill. There we go. That's going to give us Ash of War determination. And then we're going to head back east and then north. So we're basically just going to be following the path. You can kill the enemies along the way if you want. I'm just going to go around them, however. And the path continues off to the right to that shack. We're actually going to pop up here on top of this hill for another teardrop scarab, however. This one explodes when you kill it, so be careful. This one's going to give us a somber smithing stone. Again, going to be nice to have upgrade materials for later so you can play around with multiple weapons. So trying to make sure we get plenty of those. Probably a good time to go ahead and make some bone arrows. And I'm going to go ahead and equip myself a bow. So it's worth mentioning we've been getting these Ashes of War, and I haven't really talked too much about them yet, so we'll go ahead and talk about that now. So if I go look at my Ashes of War, basically I can equip an Ash of War to my weapons or my shields. And if I do it to, say, for example, a weapon, it's going to give me the ability to pick which one I want. You'll notice that the option, if I press on it, it gives me the ability to pick an affinity. I can either keep the weapon in its current affinity. This weapon, using this particular Ash of War, will give me the ability to raise the strength scaling to B. The weapon itself isn't as strong, but the upgrade paths will obviously fix that in due time. On the flip side, though, if I go for one of these abilities, I have the ability to pick quality. And quality, as I said in the last episode, is basically where we are putting equal efforts into giving scaling to strength as well as dexterity. So some of these are going to have multiple options available to them. Some only have, say, for example, 2. For now, though, I'm not going to use these, as I don't feel I need them. And then we're going to come in here and examine the picture. So the way that the paintings work in this game is we need to find where the person would have been who drew this painting or painted this painting. And once we find that position, there will be a spirit there. And if we examine the spirit, we'll end up getting gear items. Just depends on what exactly you find. The caveat, though, is you do have to examine each painting before the spirit will appear. So at the end of this episode, we actually will be finding the one that's tied to this particular painting. Otherwise, come over here. We're going to grab another smithing stone. And we're going to head back along the path. So you can see that ruin right there in front of us. We're going to head over there before we move on. Here's another golden rune. And then we're going to go ahead and follow the path. And you can kind of see it, but straight in front of us is a site of grace. So we're going to rest over here. It's worth mentioning, by the way, that Melina will periodically pop up to want to chat. You'll actually see it pop up on the screen. And those conversations are missable, by the way, if you're not careful. So definitely make sure to rest at all of the locations that you get to. Don't just activate it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and proceed, continuing down along this path. And we're going to climb up there, because there's a guy there that's going to give us a quest. This is Kenneth Height.
You might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the True Order. Well, no. Despite you might have young tarnish. I want you to knight. What my fault? Oh, I threaten a celebrity. I that depraved. Honestly, God. First he, then he, and to think. Yeah.
So talk to him until he repeats himself.
What my fault?
All right. So we need to basically clear out his fort of the enemies that are there. It's pretty high level, though, so for now we're just going to come over here, and we have another cemetery to clear out. This one happens to have also a cookbook at it, so we're going to go ahead and grab that, too. And then we're going to head back down. This, by the way, is magic grease. Some of the items that we can make in this game allow us to equip different types of damage onto our weapons. And that'll add magic to a non-magic weapon. So in front of us is the Third Church of America. We want to just run past this giant. So we got a wondrous physique. We'll talk about what this is here in a minute. Over here we got a sacred tear. And now we're going to go ahead and rest at this grace. So here we have the ability to talk to Melina. She's going to tell us a little bit about the lore.
Words, if you wish. Very well, my lord. With thine he will well.
Alright, so what we got now are our first sacred tier. So this is going to increase the effectiveness of our replenishment on our flasks. In addition, we have the Wondrous Physic now. So the idea behind this is that we're going to pick up various crystal tiers in the game. And each crystal tier has an item effect, and we basically get to pick two, mix them together, and then that will give us a unique elixir. And basically, we can chug that elixir just once. So if we head over to a Grace and Rest, it'll allow us to use it again. But it'll also reset the effects of the one that we currently have affected. So if we have something that gives a permanent boost, for example, it will go away whenever we rest at the Grace. Otherwise, though, we are going to head north. And into the water here. Off to the right, we have a teleporter. Now, we're not going to use this teleporter yet, but this takes us to a safer area of Caelid compared to the trap that's in the Caelid ruins. I'm sorry, the Dragonburnt ruins. So I'm going to go ahead and put a marker here to come back here later. But definitely something we're going to be doing in the next episode. And then we're going to come up here. Because we have another Ash of War to pick up. So this one is a Sacred Blade. This actually equips some additional options beyond just the quality, standard, and heavy options. And then we're going to go ahead and follow this water trail, and you're going to see some dead wolves. So let them go after the bear. We basically just want the item. Alright, so we're going to pop back into here, rest at the Grace, and then we're going to begin following the path that we basically started following earlier. So our goal at this point, we're going to want to pick this up. This is our next map fragment. And there will be a few things along the way that we're going to see too. So this thing right here, the way that this works, is you will have to follow this spirit. And if you're able to make it to where the spirit takes you and you don't lose him, or he doesn't lose you, sorry, then you'll end up having basically a treasure. But we're going to be getting basically all those treasures anyway, so not a big deal. For now, though, just head forward. We're going to grab the Limgrave East map. We're going to grab the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. And then we're going to come over here. So we're not going to need to go in here yet, but just make sure it pops up on your map. Siofra River Well. So the world is huge, but it's not even begun yet because we have an entire under area to look at too. So this actually takes us to the under area. I'm not going to recommend going down there yet though, but if you do need to farm for more smithing stones, there are a whole mess of them right in the very beginning of this section downstairs. Or down the elevator, sorry. Anyway, so from the map, we're going to head over here. So this area is pretty dangerous. We're just going to try to grab the items that are here. And then we're going to turn left and head towards the bats that are up here. So we got the opportunity to pick up another golden rune. So around here, you're going to end up hearing the howling. So we're going to sneak. Okay, we're going to need to run. So that's a rune bear. We do not want to be in a fight against those. So now we have an axe talisman. This is actually our first talisman. So if we head over to our talisman, we can equip one. But basically what this does is enhances charge attacks. And I happen to be someone who does quite a few of these kinds of charge attacks, so that's going to be beneficial. Otherwise, just avoid the bear if you can. Come in here, grab another smithing stone. And as you can see, the world is partially destructible. Anyway, so the person who, or thing, not really sure it's a person, you can see them up here. So you want to make sure that you hear the howl. Now we're actually going to head west of the Mistwood Ruins. So just kind of hug the side here. And eventually you're going to see a place that we can climb up. So this is our first sacrificial twig. The way that those work is... We're being chased still? Okay. God, we are. The way the sacrificial twigs work are going to be to avoid us losing runes whenever we die. Kind of like the sacrificial rings in Dark Souls. Anyway, once you get to... Man, he's still following me. Once you get to the path, we're just gonna keep going. So we are heading south right now. And off the side here, you're going to end up seeing another Grace. So next we're going to be heading southwest. Don't need that. All right, so now we're going to head back, and we're going to head up to this tower that's in front of us. So there's going to be a basilisk shooting at you. You want to get through here quick. We're not interested in any of the enemies. The only thing we're interested in right now is this golden seed. So grab it, then we're going to turn around. And we're going to head north until you see a merchant.
Welcome. Value these. I'm hungry.
So he's got a few items. We have the Festering Bloody Finger. This is going to allow us to begin invasions into other players' worlds if you want to play online. Later we'll be able to do a quest that will also give us some more of these as well. Otherwise we can get various crafting items. I'm going to go ahead and buy more smithing stones. Always nice to have. Otherwise, nothing too crazy here. He's got an axe. He's got a shield. This shield does 100% physical damage. So, nice to have if you don't already have one. And... tell you what, this one only requires 12 strength. Let me compare the shield I currently have. This one does not have 100% physical damage, so this is going to be an opportunity. We're going to go ahead and upgrade. So once we get ourselves up to 12 strength, we should be good. I'm going to prefer that a lot more than the Lord Sorin's shield at this point. Alright, so we have accessed basically the important stuff. And actually, I forgot, there is an item right here that we're going to go get. There we go. Another golden rune. So now what we're going to do, now that we've heard the sound of Blythe the half-wolf, we're actually going to head over to the Church of Ella to progress that particular story. So we're going to talk to Kale here. He's got some more stuff to talk about.
I think this your people. The how I suppose. Next time you don't fret. I just have.
So ask him about the noise, and he's going to give you the finger snap gesture.
Perhaps you see that we have a saying. Lament not, but that is our just the way.
And I'll go ahead and buy another cookbook.
Goodbye.
Now again, if you found weapons that you like at this point, you can start strengthening your armament if you've got them. We have quite a few smithing stones at this phase. We are going to be getting into some of the best gear, though, pretty soon. So I'm going to use this opportunity to add a charge to my flask. And Melina wants to talk.
This tiny golden, this light, but now you can see the rays upon the Academic. If the raid and the Elden as an ally pray to face the Academic. If the raid and the Elden as an ally pray to face the.
Alright, so she's repeating herself. Now we're going to head back to Fort Height West. Then we're going to head over to the Mistwood Ruins again. We will be coming back, by the way, to complete out this area. It's just, it's a little high level for us right now. Alright, so here's where we want to do the gesture.
Who goes there? Kale sent you. The name's Blythe. He fled.
So this is Blythe.
I can offer you
Go ahead and talk to him and progress his dialogue. Because we're going to be helping him here in a few minutes, because helping him is going to get us an awesome weapon. So next we're going to head over to Agil Lake South. And from here, we're actually going to be heading west, because we're going to run into the area that has the painting that we were looking at earlier. So we're first going to head to this kind of dome in front of us. I'm going to climb it first because there is an item on top. Just a crafting item. Oh, I almost fell. Oh, I did fall. Okay, there we go. We got that. Not really anything we need, but since I'm here anyway, might as well pick it up. This is Yura. He's going to help us in some fights later.
You do well to stand, so stay clear. Don't.
You don't have to talk to him right now, but you can. And then we're going to keep heading west. We're going to run into another site of grace. Again, Melina wants to chat.
Me? I'm searching for my for the reason. There is something I've acted. I am knowing.
Alright, so now we're going to continue heading this way. So up here is a golden rune. And we're probably going to have to deal with these guys. Ouch, that's rough. Alright, so we'll go ahead and just head back over to here. I wasn't sure where the Church of America, or the Stake of America was. Alright, so we'll grab my runes, then we're going to head over here. And here he is. Here's where he drew the painting. And there's our incantation scarab. So that is a helm. We go take a look at it. Slightly reduces FP cost of incantations, but increases damage taken. So not a bad idea if you are wanting to play a magic user. It increases your damage output by 15%, and you only get a 5% loss. I'm sorry, a 5% increase of damage taken. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and travel back to Agil Lake South. And we're going to head towards this. So this is basically a prison. And it's got a boss fight in it. Now normally this would be a pretty difficult boss fight. However, we are going to have the help if you decide to accept it anyway. You'll have the help of Blythe.
Darriwil, rotting in a cell is no true justice. No.
So
This is where it ends for you.
So Darriwil is weak to lightning. We don't have anything that can do lightning at the moment, but we just have to go over here. So he has two, I would say, notable attacks. He has that ability where he basically kind of disappears, which is the Bloodhound's Step. He also has this ability where he's going to basically scrape or grind the ground. That. And sometimes he'll follow it up with a jump. Otherwise, though, for the most part, let Blythe do the main attacks on him. So now we got Bloodhound's Fang. Now we're going to go ahead and talk to Blythe again.
How to work for it? Don't say I'm not.
He's going to give us some smithing stones.
Oh yes, If you venture, tell him I said he'll be sure.
And then he's directing you to go to a blacksmith. So that will get him to repeat himself. So as far as the weapon that we just got, this is probably one of the best weapons at this point in the game. However, it does have a very particular moveset. But if you do L2, basically the same thing that the enemy did. So pretty nifty attack type. Very heavy. I actually finished my first playthrough of the game whenever the game first launched with this weapon. But with that, I think that's going to do it for this particular episode, everybody. In the next episode, kind of what the idea is going to be is we're going to head down to the Weeping Peninsula. Or grab some things down there. And then we're going to head over to Caelid and grab a couple of things over there. And that's basically going to get us all of the early game gear that we're going to want. And at that point, we're going to start heading towards kind of the entrance to Stormvale Castle, where we're going to fight our first mini-boss. Though we are going to end up cleaning up some of the markers on here, as well as adding a few more to the list as well. But until then, thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.